We miss you, Iz.
What's up, Allie? What's up?
Oh, Miss Blue, we miss you.
Oh, she had to throw the blue in there, though.
Yeah, yeah, and blue.
Oh, look, it's my little unicorn. I love it. Hat on.
Oh, there it is.
If they had a hard hat on in here, I would put that on, but they don't. She can't see. Can you see what I got?
We're gonna have to email Zoom, tell them to add that hard hat.
Listen,
There should be a filter for that.
Yeah.
the construction filter, hard
Yeah,
hat and vest.
Yeah.
gotta be a thing.
And a little lunch pail.
All right. Well, let's get into it.
All right, guys. Good morning. It's Friday, May 9th. And we got 2 episodes for you here today with Uncle G. They are, why is this thing lagging? They are cash flow and budget constraints.
Mm,
Mm,
Some good ones.
yeah. Can't relate at all.
Let's see.
Cash flow. Cash flow is a major concern of every business. Cash flow has nothing to do with your price, nothing to do with your cost, and nothing to do with your product or your brand. This is their problem that you inherit now, cash flow. He or she is worried about the cash flow of the business being affected now. You lowering price, adding value does not solve the cash flow concern. So you need to find this out. See, you need to start thinking like a business person right now, not like a salesperson, not like a closer. The true professional salesperson in this follow-up cycle over long periods of time is going to flush out the cash flow as the issue. And then you resolve the problem with creative ways to help their cash flow. If you find out cash flow is the issue simply by asking, is this a cash flow issue? Yeah, it is. You mean if the cash flow problem wasn't there, you would do this right now? Absolutely. If we're in August, this is going to be relieved by October, August, September, October. Tell you what I do. Why don't we delay payments between now, August and September? Start payments, okay? Could you handle 3 payments in September? In October, I'm sorry. If they pick up in November, October, November, if they pick up in November and it's just 1 payment. Yeah, man, on my see, you just brought the deal to fruition. It's a cash flow issue. You need to ask, call it out, solve the problem, be creative, and don't discount price to solve a cash flow problem. Budget constraints. How many times have you heard this one? We don't have the money. We don't have the budget. We're out of budget for the quarter. See me, 2 quarters from now. Look, budgets. What do they even mean? What does a budget even mean? The U.S. government doesn't know what a budget is. Your family probably doesn't know what a budget is. And every company that I have ever met with that said they didn't have the budget, when the problem is big enough, they will find the money. Budget constraints means you have not done a good enough job of finding out the real problem in this company. Because trust me, while that company has a budget constraint, they're spending money on something every day. Electricity, water, gas, utilities, employees, taxes, legal, the list goes on and on and on, right? Budget constraints will always mean you haven't done a good enough job of finding out the real problem. Maybe you presented the product, maybe the price is right, they like you, they like your company, your reputation's great, but you have not figured out one thing, the real problem. Find that out, and the budget constraint will disappear.
Insurance, all of it.
Insurance, payroll, supplier payments, subcontract payments. See what else came along this week. Permits, business licenses. Yeah, big list of shit, man. So I like his strategy though of don't discount the price, just move the payments down the road, right? Now
Yeah,
the
I like that
risk
too.
to that is they don't pay. That'd be a big risk, but it is a strategy. So what do you think is, what do we take away from this today?
Well, one of the ways that we tried adding so much value is just creating an offer. Remember, trying to make that package look 10 times the price of what we sell it for. And
Yeah.
it just makes it, harder to give up, right? Because they feel like they're not going to get that deal anywhere else. It's a one-of-a-kind deal, and it's gone once they let it go. So start practicing creating offers and start promoting that on your social medias, and you're going to get some people coming to you. So just practice, get better at it. Let's go.
Boom.
Boom.
Laka. Oh man, let's see. Well, Aaron and I had a very interesting day yesterday. Started off with a really
Yes.
great event in Marina with Shea Homes. Want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah. Is Victor on the call?
He
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
There he is.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vic, this was a cool thing. I mean, just a testament to Victor's attitude. He heard about the Shea Safety Trade Council. He was involved in the cowl bid, which we didn't get because we weren't onboarded. And when Victor heard about the Safety Council, which came out of that cowl ranch job, like, hey, do you want to join the Safety Council? I said yes. Victor heard about it. He said, get me on that thing. So we brought Victor with us to the safety stand down because Shea's like standard for excellence and safety is probably the highest I've ever seen. My experience is they put up a bunch of paperwork requirements and then no one checks it. Well, Shea is going to read your documents. They're going to make sure you do it, and they're going to help you along the way. So it was cool that Victor showed up. We got him in front of the vice president of operations, Rick Globiano, who attends those trade council meetings. And so Jennifer Blake, their safety director, followed through on her. People say a lot of things, but she said, yeah, I'll introduce you guys to the VP, which did happen. Got the introductions. I ended up sending out a thank you email just to kind of like get all those connections made. And hopefully this is the beginning of something bigger. Like a lot of the stuff we're doing is medium to long-term time horizon. So we're planting bamboo shoots right now is the way I see it. And we just got to keep the farm alive until the sprouts happen. So appreciate Victor coming out. It was a good event. And we learned about ladder safety. There's a lot more types of ladders than I've never seen 2 or 3 of those ladders before. So that was kind of cool to learn about.
Nice.
Yeah. It's one of the, I think, one of the easiest overlooked items on a job. I think we've all seen it. I mean, shit, I just saw it on Falk's job. Whatever day I went over there, they had 2 of the guys installing the canopy, standing on top of 6-foot ladders.
Yeah.
Side by side, and I'm like, oh my God. Right.
Mhm.
So,
Yep. I mean, the guy dropped a melon, a little like 6-inch diameter watermelon when he was standing about 4 foot 9 feet on a 6-foot ladder. He was standing on the second to the top rung or whatever, which is as high as you're supposed to go. And he dropped a melon, and that thing, you can imagine what happened when it hit the asphalt. And so that's what your head is. So these little small falls can be catastrophic. I mean, even an elbow or a knee, like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's all bad. So
yeah, he's what was it? It was 3 deaths in, what was it, the week before or the month before, something like that.
yeah.
So 3 ladder deaths, just guys falling off ladders.
No
So,
way.
Crazy.
so, but yeah, I really appreciate their commitment. A lot of companies will say that they're committed, but very few actually are. The walk away, right? Oh, I see it, but I'm not gonna challenge it, not my problem, or just, that kind of feeling like, oh, well, if I call them out, they're gonna call me out, and then everybody's kind of hiding from it. It's just,
Yep.
it's a bad culture. So, but yeah, it was a good event. Those guys have 5,000 homes to build in Marina. There's a ton of work out there. So we're gonna keep running around. Like Aaron said, we're just bamboo farmers, just plant
Yep.
seeds, let them grow for about 5 years. Can't see anything happen. And then all of a sudden, boom, 1 year they grow. So.
Exactamundo.
Awesome. Michael, so good to see you back. Full swing. I love the hat.
Yeah. Thank you for the gear. I finally qualified for some merch. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Happy to get things back in motion.
Right on.
You feeling
Hey,
better?
Mike, we met Brett Erickson yesterday in person. He's super cool. We had a good talk with him, showed him some inner workings of how we roll. And I think that those are, keep in mind, like with any of the guys in our area, feel free to suggest, I think coming by the office, because I think the power of people sitting in the room with us is immense. And when they get in the room, it just kind of makes us more real rather than a voice on a screen or a face on a screen. So we'll do whatever it takes to get in the room with people and kind of show them what's going on, what we're working on, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, it was a good experience. Came in. He was here for maybe 30 minutes. We ran him through a project that we had just bid, and he got it right away. And he's like, okay,
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, let's roll, So,
Awesome. Love that.
right. Well, I know Victor's pouring concrete today. So, I believe we're going to see him in here later. Ah,
No.
there he is.
Not pouring concrete today. It got pushed to Tuesday. Not my fault though.
Yeah. Oh, well. You were almost there, man. You had that 5-day cycle. You were there.
Well, I mean, they don't have their plumbers ready, so
Mm.
I'm all done.
Yeah.
So
Gonna be 195.
yeah, so it's
Right
gonna
on.
be like I said. They push a lot, and then when you deliver, and then they don't deliver, it's kind of like excuse city. So
The excuse Olympics. Everybody's
Yeah.
a gold medalist.
We've been hearing a lot of those the past month. It's been really exhausting. One thing I want to talk about real quick is the the human intuition is very powerful. So from the get-go, when you meet someone, if your dander is up or your spidey sense is tingling, there's probably something to that. And and don't ignore it. At least acknowledge it and keep it queued up in your mental queue as like okay, I something triggered here, something was off. You may not know what it is, but there are signs usually before you realize, oh shit, this person's lying to me, or they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And the other thing, Sean said it perfect when we walked away from our little issue yesterday, was never assume anyone knows what the fuck they're doing, bluntly put. And it's a really good point. Is like, you know, you've gotta take that extreme ownership viewpoint and put it on ourselves, and then also know that you don't always know the answer. Sean and I are both listening to Dalio's book. I think Izzy might be listening to it too, but he talks a lot about the differing perspectives and the fact that no one knows everything, and we should embrace that and have this what does he call it, extreme open-mindedness, and be able to listen to other perspectives before, like, really well-rounded thinkers can hold two conflicting perspectives in their mind queue at once, weigh them, and then decide on that rather than instant dismissal. So keep that open-mindedness, but also, trust but verify type thing. There's a lot of levers to be adjusted on our day-to-day. So that's my little rant about that.
Yeah, so specifically, we got a call, and it all started on Wednesday with Bosco up at Union City. There's this little bit of paving that needed to happen, and it's handicap stalls. And they kept talking about needing to grind more asphalt. And I was sitting in here with Aaron. I'm like, I don't understand where they're coming up with this like notion that they got to grind more asphalt. Doesn't make any sense, right? And so, I hindsight should have gone up there either yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon when the guy was out there trying to lay out this grind, because they didn't know what they were doing. When we got there yesterday, instantly figured out what their problem was. And it took about 10 minutes to explain it to them, and then they got it.
Yeah,
But
exactly. And the whole time Sean was explaining he was trying to set up the reasoning used to get to the answer. He couldn't get through a sentence without Bosco's supervisor interrupting him, and they've got this really defensive, not my fault, I didn't know. Like, there's so many things wrong with yesterday, and one of them is they never gave their paving sub, the plans, but he had a plan set. When Sean said, get your plans to the Bosco supervisor, the paver was like, oh, there's plans. And so it's like really bonehead stuff. But yeah, sorry to jump in there, Sean.
no, that
like-
was it, man. It was just simple lack of understanding. And we could have done more to prevent the problem.
Yep.
But there was there's always conflicting demands on your time. And since they had the paver coming out, I thought to myself, well, the paver's gonna know what he's doing, because he's gonna understand what I'm trying to explain to these guys that don't understand. Well, unfortunately, he didn't know what he was supposed to be doing because they didn't share all the information with him. So
long story short, they ground like 6 inches of asphalt when they should have only ground like a half inch to 1 inch and added. So they probably had to put back like 3 times as much AC than they should have, which is unfortunate,
Yeah, they tripled their quantity on the asphalt, and they spent like 4 extra hours with a grinder out there grinding shit that didn't need to come out. So
I had a thought on that, Sean, too, on if we're 1 inch mill and overlay, should we just be, when Jared's in the estimate, should he just be calcing 2 inches worth of AC? Is that a safe assumption, to 2 inches of new AC for all those bids?
that'll balance out your fills.
Okay.
And also tends to be a lot of waste when you're only doing 1 inch. So
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for me, it was educational because, like, I'll be honest, I didn't know that it was to the back of the parking lot. I knew there was a grade break there, but I never really thought through it. It's always good to like see those things in person, and that's part of one of the things we want to do is get Jared on site more over the next year and have him visualize some of this stuff, because it makes a lot of sense when you see it and you're like, oh no, duh, that makes sense. You get to see how many actual guys are out there working, what kind of equipment's on site. It really is going to help, I think, especially when Jared's put in the situation, which happens a lot, where we're wagging it, and just, okay, throw some guys, and it's not waggy, but when we have to make up a crew, I think it'll help him a lot. It helps me for sure.
and show me, don't tell me, right? So the fix to the whole situation was I had them pull a string line, put the smart level on it, and they went from finish to finish, and it was like right at 2%. And I literally picked the string up 1 inch where they shouldn't have ground. And I said, okay, what is it now? Like, oh, 1.8. I said, yeah, that's what you were supposed to do.
And the light bulb went off.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, gotta go. Good luck. Finish this before you get out of here.
The funniest part to me was all the guys' names were white guy names. When that one guy said, "Oh yeah, I speak English and Spanish," and I was like, oh, "Okay, Russ," and they all started laughing. They're like, "Russ!" I love that. Oh man!
All right. Well, I was thinking we should send those guys the Santa Clara job. Have them give us a number for it.
For sure.
And I was also thinking about the Arroyo, that extra paving.
Yeah.
Shoot
Yeah,
it to them.
I made contact with him via text and email yesterday, and Jared put him on the bid list already. So we'll do that.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some better coverage on Arroyo, because I still think that number we're getting is way too high.
I agree.
All right. Appreciate you guys being here. And gosh, it's Friday. So I'll see a couple of you guys tomorrow. The rest of you I'll see on Monday.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Later on today.